I've seen a lot of fall-offs in my time. Tony Ferguson, The Office, the MCU. I mean, come on bro, how did you guys go from dropping peak to this? But anyway, these fall-offs pale in comparison to what I'm going to talk to you about today. The greatest fall-off in the history of mankind. This fall-off was so generationally bad to the point where even our generation still suffers from it today.
To this day!
Adam and Eve. The biggest fall-off in the history of mankind. So we start with God essentially speedrunning creative mode and making all of planet Earth in 6 days and resting on the 7th. So God creates humans on day 6, and by humans I mean one singular man named Adam. Now Adam's a super chill guy, right? All bro does is literally chill, and his one job is to be the king of all animals. And he has to name all of them, but I mean come on, that's like a one-time job. Yeah, call this guy the lion. Yeah, for him we'll go sheep. This guy, goat. But on top of that, God gives him one rule. So the place where Adam's staying in is called the Garden of Eden, and it's filled with fruit trees and 2 mythical level trees. The tree of wisdom between good and evil, and the tree of life. So God says, you can eat from literally any tree except for the tree of wisdom between good and evil and the tree of life. So it's pretty simple, right? So anyway, Adam's basically chilling for a while, and that's when God decides to bless this man with a wife. And by bless him, I mean God performs the first ever rib transplant and takes Adam's rib, and using that rib, he creates Eve. So I'm pretty sure most of you have heard of Eve, but I'll tell you the story anyway. So Adam's no longer lonely. This guy's got a shorty, and they're chilling. But then, the main villain of the Bible, the shining one, the one who wanted it all, the overambitious fallen angel, the great tempter, the MC of a TV show with 6 seasons rated 87% on Rotten Tomatoes pulls up. Yeah, and he doesn't pull up like this either. He pulls up as a snake. Bro, come on, how is pull-up game this bad? Bro, this guy should have taken notes from literally anyone. The Avengers are better pull-up game than you. Naruto was better pull-up game than you. All the Smash Bros got better pull-up
All I
game.
ever wanted was a black Grand National. Fuck being rational, give them what they asked for. It's not enough.
I mean, even this fella. Bro, his nickname is the Devil. He's named after you, and he's got colder pull-up game than you.
That's what it is, a disgrace.
My fault, I got carried away. So anyway, the devil pulls up to Eve moving like a male manipulator, and he starts his gaslighting 101 play. So now we got Eve stuck in like a psychological ISO with him, and it essentially plays out like this. Yo, why didn't you try this fruit? No, I can't. God told me not to. Babe, you're crazy.
The devil is
Your
real.
friends were right about you. Name one time where that happened. And now Eve folds under pressure.
That was my last one, unfortunately.
Okay, now one more.
No, I'll play one more, I bet.
Alright, bet.
And she proceeds to eat the fruit. I mean, come on, bro. You could have avoided this so easily. A little bit of foreshadowing right now, but, bro, Eve could have avoided the doom of mankind if she had just hit Satan with a...
No! No!
So anyway, Eve eats the fruit, and she's like, damn, this is pretty good. And she's like, yo, Adam, let me put you on. You see why I did that?
Shut your lame ass up, nigga.
My fault. So anyway, Adam eats the fruit as well, and bro's like, damn, you're right, this is pretty good. And that's when the plot twist happens. So turns out, God was gatekeeping the tree for a good reason. Because the second Adam eats from the tree, his eyes are open, and life isn't so sweet. In fact, the first thing he realizes is how atrocious his fit is, and he rushes to change it immediately.
I'll be crying if I look like that too, bro. That's fucked up what they be doing to y'all. I ain't even gonna hold you, bro. I be saying that's fucked up, like, bro, you probably had the full washing set. Your shit be fire probably if they ain't cut your shit. Fuck it though, bro. It's your life.
So him and Eve suit up in some leaves, and that's when we learn that the tree of wisdom between good and evil makes what was once black and white clear and distinct. It differentiates between good and evil, and it makes it no longer extremely blurred. And now the theme of moral ambiguity is introduced to human. Alright, my fault. I'll stop yapping. But basically, what Adam and Eve essentially did is they pulled a shadow fight too and let evil out into the world. Okay, that's not what happened either, but I just wanted to make a Shadow Fight 2 reference. My fault. But Shadow Fight 2 is a good game. So anyway, so basically, imagine you have sunglasses on all the time, and all of a sudden I took them off. That's basically what happened to them. They removed their filter of innocence, which God wanted them to maintain. So now God's caught wind of this, because he's God, and God pulls up with so much aura. Adam hides out of instinct. Bro, do you guys understand how cold that is? Think about it, right? Adam and Eve have just unlocked a new level of intelligence, and the first thing it tells them to do when God approaches is to hide. Damn. So anyway, God hits them with the
Hurry up and run! No, you won't.
and Adam's trying to clutch up by saying, yeah, we were hiding because we realized we were naked, and fumbles instantly because God's like, who told you that you're naked? How do you even know what that is? And Adam's like, oh. Then, so Adam's fumbling, and now God's like, okay, look, I know the truth. And bro, Adam may be the biggest sellout of all time, because why did this fella almost straight away try and blame it all on Eve? Like, he didn't eat from the same tree as her. Eve told me to.
All I'm saying is, this whole situation would have played a little different if I was there for real. Best believe I ain't letting no disrespect to a queen slide like that on my watch. Think I'm just gonna sit there and watch that slide? Nah.
Shut your lame ass up, nigga.
My fault. So anyway, back to the story. So Eve tries to then blame it on the snake.
God's like, yeah, God essentially made a diss track / curses on all three of them. Ranges from telling the snake he's gonna crawl on his belly every day, and Eve gets cursed with childbirth and the pain of it. And Adam's unemployed ass gets cursed with having to find a job. And I think that's the worst punishment. The most brutal one any of them got. Sure, Eve's Eve's pregnant now. Okay, yeah, it hurts. But bro, have you guys ever had to work a hard job before? Back when I was younger, I used to rake leaves. Now I was 8 years old. I'll be outside in the garden raking leaves, and I can tell you that's hard work. To think that Adam has to do that every day for the rest of his working life, that hurts. It hurts. If Adam having to get a real job wasn't enough, on top of that, him and his wife Eve, they got evicted from the Garden of Eden, got thrown out into the mean streets of the real world. But not before God gave Adam and Eve the cleanest leather fits. And yeah, that's all for today. That's the story of how Adam and Eve got kicked out of a literal paradise because they got tricked into eating a fruit. So, what's the moral of the story? It's a good question. And it would probably have to be